right, now I've lost the Zoom call. There you are. Okay. Hey, Gads. Hi, everybody. Well, welcome to Mappy Hour. This is our happy hour for those of us who love maps, also known as geocachers. So, cheers, everybody. We have made it to another Friday. Yeah, cheers, y'all. Mm. Mm. Sorry for the delay there. Things just were not talking to each other. It's been that kind of week here. So I am Lisa, look out Lisa, one of your hosts tonight, and this is our other host tonight.
Kid Vegas 19, JD.
Yeah, so welcome everybody. So our topic tonight is statistics. Robert mentioned that that would be a fun topic, and I look back on history, and it's been a little while since we've talked numbers and goals along that way. So I thought, yeah, let's go ahead and go for it. So, but before we get there, we do have our notes from the field. We'd love to hear what sort of geocaching activities y'all have been up to in the last couple of weeks, and or even what you have planned. Maybe you're chasing some of your stats, right? But before we even get to there, we do have just a few ground rules to keep everything moving smoothly. Keep yourself on mute unless you'd like to join the conversation here in the Zoom room. Just raise your hand. I see we've got a couple of hands up already. And if you're watching us on, oh, let me get more folks in the waiting room. If you're watching us on YouTube, Kid Vegas 19 is monitoring that on his laptop. I'm looking over here because his laptop is right there. So go ahead and just type it in the comments and he'll bring you into the conversation. Keep everything kid friendly. There might be kids in the rooms with us. This is being live streamed to YouTube and will live on our YouTube channel forever and ever. And I don't know, lifetime of either us or YouTube. We'll see. And then no spoilers. There's a couple big games today. We haven't finished watching them. We don't know what's going on. So and when we're not geocaching, we do enjoy watching some sports. So please no sports spoilers. I think those are the basics.
hmm
Yeah. So yeah, looks like we've got some folks we haven't seen in a little bit. And more folks are going to be joining us. I see some are struggling in the waiting room. Hopefully they'll be able to get in. Might be the internet connections. So I guess we'll go ahead and open it up for notes from the field. So keep yourself to 2 minutes, everybody, and that'll give everyone a chance to share what they would like to share. So I believe it is Robert first. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Lisa. I'm just glad you and JD are safe after that terrible wildfire that broke out at Spokane. Craziness happening out there. This week, I attended two geocaching events, one in Federal Heights, Colorado, one in Thornton, Colorado. Picked up a few caches and a few mystery caches found here and there. Got those signed logged. I've gotten about 18 finds for the month so far. Got one first to find, which was nice, and that find also gave me my Jasmer for the month, so that was nice. And I am hosting an event tomorrow, and then next Saturday I'm attending a CTO event over at a outdoor mall here in my area called the Orchard. The area is known for homeless people and shoplifters, so you'll find a lot of security tags strewn all over the place.
Hmm. Oh boy. Sounds like a good spot for a
Yeah.
CTO.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing. Sounds like you've been busy as usual.
Yes.
Yeah. And thanks again for the topic tonight. So we'll roll back around to that here and once we get through all of our notes. We got lots of notes from the field.
How close was the fire to you guys?
Yeah, rather close. We could see it. It was about 3 miles from where my warehouse is. And then our home is a little further away. We were about 7 miles, 6 to 7 miles as the crow flies, and it got shorter as the fire grew because it was coming our way. It was across the river from us, but the way the winds were blowing, that wouldn't have mattered. We had 55-mile-an-hour wind gusts, I believe, a true red flag day. And although they contained it fairly well,
That's
so
good.
yeah, we saw a lot of smoke. definitely saw a lot of smoke coming up, and I could see a lot. I was driving into my warehouse and got a little elevation going over the freeway, and it's the hill right behind my warehouse, basically, although some miles away. So luckily the wind was blowing not towards us, but just past us a little bit to the north. So we didn't have um, smoke, which can
Mhm.
be just that's the worst when it's a fresh fire smoke. Um,
Yes.
yeah.
When we had those in Colorado, when we had the wildfire smoke, I have to wear a mask just so I don't inhale the smoke. It's just too bad for my throat.
Mhm.
Yep, I can relate. I've done this very same thing. We have all those extra masks left over from COVID, and they're perfect for, we call it smoke season. Our summer is divided into summer and smoke season. So, yeah, yeah. Thanks for asking. Yeah, it was
No
scary
problem.
times. Yeah,
Yes, that was too close to the warehouse.
definitely. It was a little too close. I'm looking at my insurance real closely again. Ah. Great. We've got Melissa and then Chris.
Hi. Well, I've had a busy week. I set off last Sunday to go visit my best friend growing up to see her mom because she's not doing well, but that turned into a nice 3-day geocaching trip for me too. And I was able to finish the lumber tour
Okay.
that Troop Biz and part of Cashmore put out, but it's in northern Pennsylvania. And it was so great because it took me back to my hometown I grew up in. He actually had two caches in my hometown, which was really exciting. And I actually spent the night there and hadn't been back in over 3 years and enjoyed that. But I was also working on picking up the 250 state caches. It's not 250 caches, there's only 23, but it's in celebration of the 250. And I was up to 19 and needed 20 for the coin. And today, my husband and I finally got to celebrate our anniversary. It was bad storms, so we hadn't gone out
Mhm.
on our anniversary. But he said, "Do you want to do anything else while we're downtown?" And I said, "Yeah, I want to go get the cash that's in the park down there." So we hopped on the trolley after lunch and walked through the Juneteenth celebration going on in downtown Pittsburgh and got to the park. And um, he found the cash.
Oh,
I was not
wow.
doing real well. I mean, we were right in the area, and it's a fake rock, and I'm looking at every rock, and I was not finding it. He found the fake rock for me. So I was really glad he was there. So that made my 20th. So now I have to apply for my coin for the state cash.
Excellent.
Wow, you've been busy. That's awesome.
Yeah, it was a busy week, but it was a fun week.
Mhm.
And next week is Cashmore. So real excited for that coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, cool. Well, thanks for sharing, Melissa. It's good to see you. So we've got even more hands coming up here. Hang on, let me get more folks in from the waiting room. So I think it is Chris, Tom Fuller, Vince, and then Scott.
Hey, gang. I
Hey.
was
You
hoping to
are.
be done with this cache and just driving by the time we started, but a few minutes behind. So, as promised 2 weeks ago, I'm in the midst of my big road trip. I'm in Wisconsin right now. I just found a cache for Jefferson County, which is right outside of Madison, and heading to the Cache Odyssey in Milwaukee next.
Mhm.
Since last I've seen you, I got the state's oldest in Montana, South Dakota, I'm missing a state, but Wyoming. And Montana and South Dakota have two states oldest.
Yes.
And then I also got the Cache Across America in those three states, as well as Iowa and Wisconsin. Got the Cache Odyssey in all those except Wyoming, because I'd gotten that previously last year during Rocky Mountain Geo Rendezvous. Um, so let's see, I've added, well, as I signed that one, that was 53 new counties. So been a busy week. I've been on the road exactly 1 week. I left last Friday, and I'm heading for Cashmore. See you in a week, Melissa and Nancy and Bob. I don't know if they're there. I can't see.
I don't think they're here yet, so maybe they're out caching. Yeah.
So,
Well,
but
great.
it's been a really exciting week, and yeah. So, ah, now I'm sitting down again.
There you go. Truly
All
notes from
right,
the field.
There you go.
literally.
Yeah. And I saw that you made it up to my virtual Lookout Pass.
Yes,
Yeah.
I got yours and I got Jim's after you guys gave me grief 2 weeks ago. Had to do it. That is a
Mhm.
cool ski resort, Lisa. I'm going to have to come check that out. I'm just usually otherwise occupied in the winter.
Right? Yeah. We'll make a trip up. Yeah. It's easy to get to. It's right off the freeway.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks for the update and enjoy the rest of your trip. It sounds like a ton of fun. Mhm.
It is.
Mhm.
All right, I think it was. Oh, hang on, I scrolled away. Tom. Tom was next.
Yeah, I'm sorry I missed you 2 weeks ago. So it's been 4 weeks since I seen you.
Oh my goodness.
But tomorrow I am going to be hiding a geocache. It is going to be a steel ammo can that I recycled from. I had it out below Spring Butte Lookout Tower for 15 years, and then I archived the cache. So I'm going to be putting it up the road from my solar uh, solar light cache on up the road. That's what I'm going to name it. So,
Love it. That's great.
so yeah. So yeah, I haven't been finding geocaches much lately, but I figured I'd hide a geocache for June. And
Mhm.
yeah, I think I got one. Yeah, the one I put out for the solar powered one was in May. Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I'll yeah. Uh, something else I was going to tell you back. Okay. Well, you remember coming to visit me at Spring Butte?
I do. Hmm. I
Yes.
do.
Yeah. And I gave you an ammo kit.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you for that. So it's in that area. I was just thinking that was the same. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, let us know after you get it hidden, the GC code next in 2 weeks. So yeah. Cool, thanks. All right, we've got Vince and then Scott.
Yeah, the beginning of last week, I took a 3-day trip to our western part of the Upper Peninsula to work on some more of the counties for the Michigan Geocaching Organization county challenge, where you got to get like multiple types. I think it's like 4 types in each county, not just one. So I'm now up to 79 of the 83 counties, so I've only got a few left. Uh, I've got one lone county in the Lower Peninsula I got to do, but also I was over there. I went and did a few more of the geotour caches they have out for the Michigan State Parks. They've got 3 separate tours out that consisting of 15 caches each. They're in some lesser known state park areas, not the most popular ones. So that was kind of fun to do. And then I also today I went out and marked a few spots to refresh a couple areas where I had some caches that haven't been found for quite a while. They're not seeing much action because Michigan Geocaching Organization's got another promotion going in conjunction with the 250th birthday, where they're hoping to have at least 250 geocaches get published on the 4th of July. They all start with, HB 250 in the title.
Hmm.
So they're hoping to have everybody's phones blowing up like fireworks on the 4th of July. So they encourage us to stagger the publish times. But I went out and I made my contribution, got my 2 marked. And then, of course, yesterday I went and climbed 239 stairs, and then I went up and got my 22,000 milestone yesterday.
Wow.
So it was kind of nice because all in one trip, I got to log 2 virtuals and 2 earth caches all in one trip up the steps. One of them, which was the final stop I needed for a big virtual that it's called the Lake Michigan Tour. The posted coordinates are like just outside of New Buffalo, and then it involves visiting 23 separate spots all up the Lake Michigan shore, all the way into the UP. And then I finally completed my final stop yesterday, which happened to be where the other virtual was and the other 2 earth caches. So needless to say, I've got a few candidates now for the Geo Challenge of the month
Excellent. Okay.
for the high, because of the high terrain 239 steps. So
Yeah.
got a couple to choose from now.
Well, cool. We can only make 1 entry. Well, technically you can do more, but really just 1.
Yeah. Nice part about the
Favorite.
Upper Peninsula too this time of year is sunset up in that western part is not till like 9:50 now. So
Mhm.
get to enjoy plenty of cash and daylight now in the evening, enjoying that long June daylight now. So that made it nice too.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. That's the joys of living up north. We get so much more geocaching time. And it wakes us up at 5 a.m. in the morning too. Awesome. Thanks, Vince. Scott, good to see you, Scott. What's up?
Well, good to see you. It has been, I missed 2 in a row, one for a personal social event, and the other, the Twonky is leaving Southern California, and we had a goodbye event for him. And he's up in New England now, back where he came from. So back
Wow.
home. So
That's
good
a
for
big
him.
move.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I've been setting a lot of NFC caches. I have been working on Cache Across Southern California, which is a little informal geo tour, or if you want to call it that, where if you can find, there are 10 counties in Southern California, so you have to find a cask cache, and there's 51 of them. So you have to find a cask cache in at least one in every one of those counties, and you have to find at least 25 of them. So we went out over 2 weeks and found most of them, and then the third week got enough that we got to our gold standard, and the gold we get a geo coin out of it. So that was fun. And then there's a thanks to everybody who set a cask cache. I've picked up some. I made some flash tags and just mailed them out. And they're arriving today and yesterday and the next day. So that was our little thank you for all the people. And some of the caches are just incredible. But the other thing I've been working on is working on the Singles Island Goes MASH um, mega event. I just put the link in the notes, and so we are moving forward. I need to update that event page today because we have organized about half of our side events have published, and so we're going to have side events from Tuesday till Sunday. The big event is actually on Saturday. So yeah, so a lot of fun, been busy and having a good time. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome. Thanks for the update.
So yeah, we have Jerry Horton's in on
YouTube?
YouTube's, yeah, on the internet. Just
Awesome.
get that in.
Yeah. Well, hey, Jerry, good to see you. Awesome. Well, it is on our calendar, Scott, just let you know this year for sure that will be coming. Um, yeah, looking forward to it. Probably flying down on a Wednesday, I think, was what we were looking at. Yeah. And so we'll definitely go back and check out the website because last time I looked, there weren't very many side events put up yet. So I knew they were coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
They take time to plan, I know.
There weren't any up when we met on Monday. We're like, hey, we got to get these up, and so about half of them are up, and we do have fillers to be determined on the other days. So
Yeah.
All right,
thank you.
perfect. Yeah, it.
Looking forward to seeing you.
Yeah, us too. Well, have we done any caching?
Oh, sort of.
Yeah.
So, found one on the 6th, I know that.
Mhm.
But maybe you can talk Mountain Goat Jim into chiming in on our 2 minutes here too and talk about we think we've lost a cache or two to the fire, right?
Actually, I looked. Well, I'm sure we probably have. I
Yeah.
know. They actually posted the mapped. They mapped the fire um, overnight using infrared technology and such. And I compared that to the geocaching map. And my 2001 cache that I own is okay. I've disabled it because you're not supposed to be in
Yeah.
that area. But it was just to the west of the fire, and the fire moved east. Our prevailing winds are to the northwest, northeast here. So that one should be good, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some other
Yeah.
ones that are lost.
And then, so Jim, did you end up losing any?
Yeah, put me on the spot. I have one that's right kind of on the border and it's hidden in rocks. So even if the fire went over the top of it, I'm not sure it's damaged. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so for people to know, the fire was a long ways away from where Jim lives. But didn't you
Oh,
have
I
your-
got the warning on the iPhone. It just honked and honked
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ours sure did
and it was
too.
like
Oh, the evacuation.
evacuate immediately. And I'm like, and then I realized it was
Yeah.
a long ways away.
Were you part of the brownout though?
Oh yeah, the burnout was up your area.
No, we weren't. It was farther up Indian Trail than where we are.
Okay. Okay.
And there was another fire. Actually, I have a cache. I'm gonna have to check at the old area around Joe Alvey Stadium, the North Complex
Yeah,
Sports
I saw
Complex.
that.
I had a cache out in the woods there, and there was a fire burned through there. So it's. I think there were several in there that may be a problem,
Mm,
but
that's a shame. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll wait. I mean, the evacuation is still in place around where the fire is, and so people can't go home yet. Some people have been allowed back home and that were a little bit further away because they have contained the fire. It's not moving anymore, and the wind stopped finally overnight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but looking at the map, I'm pretty sure a couple caches were caught up in it that I'd previously found. I was just glad that my oldie was okay. I have lost caches to fires before on Beacon Hill, just a couple miles to the west of that. I had an ammo can that literally exploded. You could see that.
Yeah.
you really don't know until after. I mean, the fire can go over the cache and it'll survive, and other times it won't, and
Yeah.
you just don't know. But hey, while I'm talking, I would like to thank Chris Rock Hiking Seal for doing my cache in Wallace, Idaho, my virtual cache there. Thank you.
You're welcome, but you still owe me a quarter.
Well, okie dokie.
You guys can meet up at the ski hill and do the exchange.
He made me go play in traffic. He needs to give me a quarter to go play in traffic.
Well, I do accept logs on the signs at the corners. So
we got our back of our car in the picture we took.
Oh yeah, I think so. Yeah.
it's just a cool little town to visit.
It is. We definitely did that last year when we hiked up the Pulaski Trail.
Mhm.
Speaking of fires,
Mhm.
yeah, that's a whole nother issue about the fires in this area and such. But I was going to say something else, and now I've lost it.
Well,
Oh well.
we're right at transition to the subject.
Yes, we
Yeah.
sure are. Speaking of statistics,
Yeah.
yeah.
The first time we've ever made it on time.
Yeah.
Hey.
Well, that's not really time. It depends on how many people are in the rooms with us. Everybody gets their 2 minutes and then we move into it. So, Robert, kick us
Robert's
off with- yeah, let's talk stats.
Yeah, statistics are one of my favorite things in geocaching. It's one of those things where you're studying your Jasmer, you're studying your Fizzy,
Everybody gets their 2 minutes.
you have challenge cache, you can see all different aspects of caching where you see how many caches you found in one day, how many um, caches that of certain types that you found, travel bugs, their statistics, where they've traveled, where they started, what caches they began, what's the oldest cache you found, what's the newest cache you found, how much to find you have. That's another one of my favorites. I have about 65 myself. It's one of those hard things where you have to rush out before everyone else gets to it. And then how many events? What events were your biggest attended? What were your not so successful events attended? I had one geocaching event I attended where I had one attend. I had one person show up. And then I had another one where I showed up for Geo Woodstock in Canada and there was over 2,000 attendees.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just interesting all the tales that you can learn just like doing Project GC or GSAK or any of those other data websites that can tell you everything about your geocaching. It's just amazing to study it and learn how well you're doing as a cacher. Even compared to other cachers, you can compare statistics as well, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. And the technologies have evolved so much now. Back 20 years ago, it was really hard to track are you finding all the Jasmer grids and such? And that was a real challenge to do that. And now it's so much easier to do that and really, like you say, dig into your own stats and then comparative stats and such.
One thing I also like about Project GC is that if you're a paid member, you get to see your Adventure Lab statistics. So you can see all the Adventure Labs that you found for the week and years, and you can see all the different stats comparing on that too. So that's pretty cool as well.
Mhm. So what's your favorite stat?
Probably the first defines. It's always cool to see how many I've got and all seeing those dates and what led up to me getting them, and then how long it took me from like 64 to get to 65, how many days it took until I was finally able to get another one.
Awesome.
And then it would also have to be the challenge caches. I always like each one of those challenge caches is different, so it's cool to see what they're requiring of me to do in order to complete that challenge.
And is there certain milestones that you're currently chasing based on your stats? Oh, you froze
No
up, Rob. Oh, no, you're still there.
milestones. I'm pretty much just in it for the love of the game. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still here. Sometimes the RAM plays with me. But yeah, I'm just in it for the fun of the game. If it's something I'm really wanting, like my 6,000th find, I'll go for it and try for it. But if it's something far off, like I'm now 6,040 finds, so it's going to be a while before I get my 7,000th. So we shall see.
Okay. Well, cool. Thanks. So we've got a couple more hands have come up, and I've got more questions, but I want to let everybody else chime in first. So hang on, let me move screens around. I think it is Tom first and then Scott.
Yeah, I remember what I was going to tell you. Matt Tippins is going to be up at Middle Sister Lookout on July 1st.
Okay.
So if you want to go up and meet him, why, I'll let him know you're coming.
Will he be there for some
Yeah,
time then?
he's leaving Greenville, South Carolina on Monday, headed for his job in Idaho. So
Okay. Well, let's hope he has the quiet job.
And I'll tell him to do the virtual in Wallace, Idaho, because that's where he hangs out on his weekends off. He's not really a geocacher, but maybe I can convince him to do that.
Yeah, talk him into it. It's a good one.
Spot to see, so
Yeah. Those are a couple really nice caches in Wallace.
I hid that cache, but it doesn't have my name on it.
Hopefully we'll make our way up there. That's the St. Joe drainage, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah. So let's see. It was Scott and then Vince.
So over time, I've come up with a lot of little geocaching sayings, a lot of axioms, and yesterday I came up with a new one, and it was actually related to treasures, but it's also related to statistics. And the axiom is there are so many aspects to geocaching that the number is so huge, it's only exceeded by the number of ways that people geocache. And this fits right in because some people are really motivated by statistics and really are pursuing things and are really motivated by challenges. I know many of the people that I hang out with are, oh, I signed this challenge, so I am doing this. And and all good for them and I love it. For me, I keep tracks of statistics for myself. If suddenly see, oh man, I'm close to Jasmer, I'll start pursuing Jasmer. If I'm close to something else, I'll pursue that. Um, I actually have never signed, I shouldn't say that. I don't have any challenges that I have signed that I haven't accomplished because I just won't go after them unless I can, mark them off. But that's me. That's the way that I geocache, and everybody does it differently, and that's great. Is whatever keeps them in the game, great for that. So that's it for me. But Lisa, I am interested in what your questions are.
Okay. Well, some of you are already answering them. So, but we'll let Vince go and then I'll ask.
Yeah, a couple of 366 grids that I've been working on are, finding a multi at least on every day of the calendar year. I'm now down to 7 days now, which are now all come up. So I've got a few, easy multis now, kind of in the way they say in the bank around the local area where I've done the legwork, like the first couple stages, turn them into traditional. So then when the day comes, then I go back and formally sign the log. Another one that I've been working on is the event where I've attended at least some kind of event on every calendar day, and now I'm down to 38 days on that calendar. I've had a few geocachers that are from out of our areas commenting on all the events that we've got around here, mainly because there's about 6 or 7 of us that are working on the same grid. So we're kind of like all helping each other out. So there's events popping up left and right everywhere. So yeah, that's the other grid I've been, working on. And then, occasionally I run across a couple challenges and stuff, and then I run the checker and, oh, I'm ever so close or whatever, so that, gives me a caching goal to work on. But one that's kind of intriguing is somebody's got a challenge out here where you got to find like of course there's like 11, 12 there, how many different cache types you can find. Well, each one of those cache types would consider would fill a cell or whatever. And of course, now in Michigan, there's 83 counties. So the challenge is to find like 500 different types. Of course, you can they're spread out over all 83 counties. But, for those of us who have been working on the MIGO County Challenge, where you have to have at least 4 different types in each county. Well, you do the math, 80 times like 4 different types, that's 320 cells. While my last looking on Project GC, and I ran the checker, I'm now closing in, and now I'm up to 445 types. So now I got to start looking at the counties where I'm missing, various types and so forth. So yeah, it's another, little incentive to set a caching goal, keep me motivated. But yeah, Project GC though, it can be a real weakness at times too. Because they always say it's not all about all the numbers, that's for sure. Maybe it is about the numbers.
Sometimes it is. Yeah, for sure. I'm watching the chat and folks are talking about, all the different ways that we geocache. And I love somebody said in there, if you sample, it was Mike, if you sample 100 geocachers, you will get 120 ways to play the game. And I absolutely agree with that. It depends on the day and, the mood and what we're doing. There's just so many different ways to play the game. So Melissa, what's on your mind?
So I'm an engineer, so stats is kind of something I enjoy, but I know with my geocaching, I try not to fixate on stats because I find if I do, I'm not having as much fun. So, but I will say that my lumber tour actually got me my last county in Pennsylvania. I was missed. And it was one that I knew I could easily do in a J trip, but I was real happy that there was one on the lumber tour, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to finish it. And I'm hoping on my way to Cashmore to finish Ohio. I have 2 left there. So, that's a stat. And I've chipped away at a few states, but the 2 could have been gotten on another trip, but it would have been an exhausting day. And we chose not to do that. We chose to enjoy ourselves and not be brutal about the game.
Yeah.
And I know there are people who, oh, I have to finish this today. And I try not to let it be that. I try to have it be a fun goal, not an overwhelming goal. So that's my 2 cents.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to look at it because it can become really obsessive and lead to problems. I've got some thoughts along that. But I see Jim has his hand up. So Jim, yeah.
Okay, so I'll be a little different. Over the years, I did a 366 day grid 6 times, which I enjoyed. That was, wasn't a challenge cache. It's just something I wanted to do. But the stat I look at that I enjoy looking at the most are the number of finds or number of favorite points on my hides. I try to hide caches that are a little better than average. Not necessarily stellar, not something that gets well, I just like to do a little better than average, and I like to see the favorite points. That's something that somebody enjoyed a little more than the run of the mill.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. Yeah. I always get a little disappointed when somebody says, I love this cache so much, and they didn't give me a favorite point.
Yeah, in fairness, some people, new people don't have a lot of favorite points.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
I started out a long time ago and ended up, when they brought them out, I had hundreds, and it's so I have lots. But I know people that I've seen people say, hey, if I get another favorite point, I'll give it to this cache. So
Oh,
Anyway,
wow.
that's the one I enjoy the most looking at as
Yeah.
far as stats go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a nice pat on the back when we know we really work hard to hide a good cache and get rewarded for it. So yeah. So see, it's Chris and then Tom next.
Hey, so I agree with a lot of what other folks were saying. My main thing was stats. Obviously I'm chasing counties and whatnot, but like Melissa was talking about, trying to make the game fun and keep yourself happy. I don't look at leaderboards. It's about completing my own stats, increasing my own numbers, and just bettering myself. Because I used to get so aggravated at looking at leaderboards, the big groups that go out and leapfrog numbers and all that stuff. And then finally just like, okay, they're playing the game their way. I'm going to play my way. I don't look at leaderboards. Um, and then Jim, with you just talking about favorite points being your favorite stat, I'm curious, you guys, when a cache is archived, do you take your favorite point back? I do.
There are police reported
What do you
ahead.
do?
That I've definitely seen people do that, and I'm trying to think if I have or not.
It was a Mappy Hour topic,
I was.
and we got it from both sides.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. I think Scott has something to say.
Yeah, Chris, I will surgically remove them. I don't make a practice of it, but if I'm down to just a few favorite points, I will definitely go through GSAK. I see the caches that only I have favorited, and I will go ahead and take those back because I would rather give a cache a favorite point that's active than give one that's inactive. So that's what I do.
I don't, but I have over 100 that spare, so it's not a deal with me. If it was a favorite cache, when they came out, I went back and looked at all my old finds before they were a thing, and the ones I really enjoyed, I gave favorite points to, and so far I can't think of any that I've deleted when the cache was archived.
And that would affect the CO's statistics, correct? If we take those favorite points away from an archived cache.
It could the way that I do it. I figure that one to three favorite points that cache adds probably not going to affect anybody's statistics very much.
True. Yeah.
Well, again, since I'm unmuted, thanks, Robert, for mentioning that you can see Adventure Lab stats in Project GC. I was gifted a premium membership in Project GC, but I haven't hardly used it, and that's a stat I'd like to look at. And I think you can set up Project GC to let you know when someone removes a favorite point from one of your caches.
You absolutely can, Jim.
I don't know how to do it, but I guess you can do it.
Yes. You can do it.
I'm sure Google can walk you through it. Huh, that's interesting. I should perhaps set that up now.
Well, the lab thing, I was looking at that tonight before the show, and I understand, the count increasing every time you log a lab stop.
Mhm.
But then on the right-hand side, there's a number that says total fines, and I don't know how that is relating to that listing. So if anybody knows about that, I'd be curious to find out.
That was one of my questions that I had actually was around, have Adventure Labs treasures or events changed how you feel about find counts? And I know you have a lot to say about that.
A little bit.
Yeah. But in the meantime, I know Tom's hand went up
Tom's been waiting
before I got
patiently.
there. So yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Okay, I think my favorite stat is having over 100 favorite points on the one and only in band.
Yes.
my virtual.
Mhm.
And yeah, so I did my first challenge in 2006. So at the end of the year, I'll be 20 years since I completed my first challenge.
Wow.
And
Good.
I think the last challenge that I completed was the Oregon Lookout challenge. The cache is up in northeastern Oregon, but yeah, I completed the northeastern part of Oregon and got the final caches that I needed up there before I went and logged it. So yeah, I don't do many challenges anymore, but yeah, those were a couple of the fun ones that I did. That's it.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing. Scott, did you have more to add?
You will give an opinion about Adventure Lab statistics.
Yeah.
Um, I guess I don't follow statistics anymore. Now that you can sit in a parking lot and get, 200 to 600 fines, statistics don't mean that much to me. But I do think those are an important aspect of the game. There are people who love those numbers and they will travel hundreds of miles to sit in a parking lot. And that's the way they cash. All the better for them. But yeah, I'm not going to compare I never have compared myself to somebody else. And at this point, and I guess I will also say, I also have sat in a parking lot and got, I was working specifically on a goal um, of trying to get two very unique um, icons in one year, and one was to get the block party, and the other was to get something else that they. So between May 6th and the end of the year, I sat in a parking lot, and probably a couple hundred of those fines during that period were answering multiple choice questions. So that's don't particularly like them, probably won't do anymore, but they serve their purpose.
Yeah, they definitely do. Um, yeah, I think the original intent of the Adventure Labs ALs, yes, I said it correctly. Um, were to do a guided tour basically around an area, and then it's definitely morphed and grown. And I have done the same at Midwest Geobash. We were able to sit at our campsite and knock out 100 of them. It's such an it was we're chit-chatting and enjoying each other's company, but also all poking on our phones and learning some things. I've learned some amazing things from Adventure Labs, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised our state art,
Mhm.
Washington, Idaho Adventure Lab series, I'm getting a ton of reviews
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
and a ton of, that was very interesting. I would never knew.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I said, what, you're stopping to read?
Yeah.
You got that kind of time?
Well, you got to pick the right answers. You have to read it, generally. Oh.
But yeah, so
Mhm.
a lot of people do like that. And then of course, labs are a very handy way to make geo art, and
Mhm.
people love geo art as well.
Yeah, there's no proximity issues.
Hmm.
You don't have to, hide your geocaches within 2 miles of wherever the mystery challenge
Mhm.
bubble is. You can do anything with the Adventure Labs. So
Yep.
yeah. Melissa, you got your hand up.
Yes, part of the lumber tour, two of them had adventure labs, and I really enjoyed those labs because you had to do the lab to be able to find the physical cache at the end.
Hmm.
And it wasn't true and false questions. And in fact, they weren't even multiple choice questions. you had to go get a specific answer and
Mhm.
put it in.
Mhm.
And so you had to do the legwork to do it. And that kind of adventure lab, I really enjoy. I've tried some of the others, like in Midwest Geobash. I took you out in the parking lot.
Yes.
But that's about the only time I did it, and I tried it, and it was like, yeah, this is really not my thing. So like when I went to Geo Woodstock last year, I did 0 of those. The only adventure labs I did when there were ones that I had to do to get a cache that was part of one of the coins.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So, you know, and I've done some fun adventure labs. Unfortunately, I missed a county in New York because the only one I did was an adventure lab, but it was a really nice adventure lab. So I don't regret doing the adventure lab. I just at that point did not know I wasn't going to get the county
Mhm.
because
Oh,
that's the
shoot,
only one I
yeah.
did.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's part of the, it counts, but it doesn't count. And that's part of what I don't like about it.
Yeah.
If they're going to count it as part of your numbers, then it needs to just count, or it needs to be separate. I think it's a neat part of the game when it's done in a really good way. So, but that's kind of my feeling on adventure labs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that
So-
makes sense.
Tom wants to.
Yeah, Melissa, was that county in Pennsylvania Potter County
um
or Tioga County?
Tioga County is where I grew up.
Okay, okay.
But the one I didn't have in Pennsylvania was Indiana County.
Oh, okay.
Where one of the adventure labs was down in Williamsport with it was along the river, but it was about Billionaires Row.
Okay.
That we had to answer questions because yeah, in the heyday of the lumber mills, Williamsport had more millionaires than any other city in the world.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
I went to
And in
WAC.
fact, the high school mascot is the Millionaires.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I graduated from Williamsport Area Community College in 1969. I'm very familiar with the area.
yes.
Oh my gosh.
And I was in Potter County, of course, because that's where the Pennsylvania Lumber Museum is at. And that was one of the caches. You didn't need to, there were 2 locations you had to go inside. One was to get the coin in Warren, and the other was in Wellsboro.
Yeah, well,
So
Wellsboro's where I was born.
I was so glad that is where I was already spending the night, because I got there and I couldn't complete, it was a multi-cache, and I couldn't complete it because I had to go into the building the next day.
Okay.
So, but that was okay because I was spending the night there.
Yeah, if you get a chance, go up to Colton Point,
I was at-
overlooking, and
The-
that's a good earth cache.
I've done the earth cache at Colton Point. This one had a earth cache at Harrison Park on the other side, Leonard Harrison. So see, I grew up there. I could answer his questions without going there, but I went there anyways because it's so much fun to go there. Took pictures of Mountain Laurel
Awesome.
because it was actually in bloom when I was there. That is the state flower also. I can give you lots of Pennsylvania history.
You pick up a lot. Yeah.
Well,
Doing the lab.
I knew so much growing up in that area.
Mhm.
So it was so much fun revisiting the stuff and driving on the back roads with all the Amish buggies. And so I can go on about that trip forever because it was a really, really good trip.
So what
That
was
was
what was the name of the high school that was the Millionaires?
the Williamsport. That's where the
Williamsport.
Little League Hall of Fame is.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Well,
Hmm.
I have a new goal.
No?
Forget geocaching.
No.
I am going to arrange a football game between Williamsport High and Yuma High. So it
Oh.
will be the millionaires versus the criminal.
That sounds like a fun one.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, getting a thumbs up there. Well, I was just thinking about one of my favorite, practically months-long adventures was finishing the now I'm blanking on the name, the Delorme Challenge for Washington State. And I did it with the Cash Dashers. There were 4 of us. And we all took a look at our stats. We were becoming GSAK hackers and figuring out, what we all needed and ones that we individually needed and then ones we all needed together. And it was a lot of organizing, piling through maps and stats, statistics and such. And then we arranged, I think we ended up doing 3 big trips around the state together to finish them up. Of course, some of them were stymied by forest fires. It was summertime, and there was one particular one that we had to try 3 different ways to get into this one grid that we finally did too. And then we had to make the trip all the way back across the state to sign the final. But it was just so much fun. I mean, it was 4 of us gals, 2 dogs, camping, hoteling, staying in emergency campgrounds because of fires. And but we got it, and it was just a huge adventure and just so satisfying after a month or 2 of work, really trying to get that. So for me, that was just a ton of fun and playing with statistics and learning how GSAKs, well, I already had been using GSAK, but using it a lot more. And I'm so glad it's still around. For sure. How about you? What are your favorite stats that you like to track?
Oh, just the weird ones.
Mhm.
Right off the top of my head, I'm not looking at Project GC or anything, but I like to know that when I get there.
Yeah, he's scrolling through Project GC.
No, that isn't it. Is this my Project GC one? Yeah. Oh, it's on my other one. It's this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and finds from home.
So I'm within 4 finds where I have as many finds in the 1,000 to 2,500 mile range as I do the 50 to 100 mile range from my house.
Mhm.
I have way more finds in the 100 or the 1,000 to 2,500 range than I do at the 25 to 50 mile range. And I have a little bit fewer in the 1 mile to 10 mile range. And I almost have as many finds in the 5,000 to 7,500 range as I do the under 1 mile from my house. But I think that applies to everybody. But it's just odd things like that. I like on the Project GC stat of the greatest distance between 2 caches on the same day.
Yeah.
And ours is at 2,700 miles.
I think so. Seattle to Hawaii, was it
Yeah.
that day? Yeah.
Because we couldn't think to find a cache in Spokane before we left.
We forgot to find one in Spokane. Add another 300 miles.
So those are things I enjoy. I'm sort of like Scott about signing challenge caches, mainly because I'm so linear. I don't know when to date a challenge cache I have signed, but I find it, let's say, a year later. So what date do I use?
I would think it would be the date that you qualified. That would be my job, my guess.
But
you did
I actually signed it on the other date.
Yeah.
So that's the and to me, then I can just save up challenges for, I guess, a rainy day. And and I want this souvenir because it's changed the way I cash, and well, I'll use this challenge to get that data or whatever.
Yeah.
And that should be the, play the game your way type thing.
For sure. Like earth caches when you do the work or log the cache.
And so yeah, it's that's kind of stat I like. Chasing a stat, I've changed the way I cache in one aspect. And it was shortly after I started, I wanted to do a streak of at least 100 days. And it was during that streak that I learned I won't do 101 days, and that I really don't feel good about caching by myself, especially late at night. Because not because I'm afraid I'm going to get mugged, but other people that are near me think I'm going to mug them. And so it's
you and I have the opposite problem.
It just, looking on the edge of this park and in the dark of night, this isn't good. So yeah, I will cache alone, obviously, on a road trip for work or something, but other than that,
anymore. Yeah, we pretty much cache together. Yeah, one of my looking at my stats on geocaching.com, actually, I have the most finds between 500 and 1,000 miles away from home. So we travel and then we just, take days and, do a lot of caching in an area. So that includes ET Highway and lots of other ones for sure. I've been tracking my fizzy grid. For me, anyone tracking their fizzy, you're probably gonna finish some of them. I am now just one away. I need a difficulty 1.5 and a terrain of 4.5, and then I will have completed my fizzy. And it looks like I'm just a few away from getting multiple fizzies as well. Not determining type, but just any type of cache.
And that's what I like about Project GC. You look at that in Project GC and you click on the one you need and it gives you the list.
Yes. Yeah. And I have identified some in the area. Yeah, that would qualify for that. That's going to be a little bit of work, train 4.5. So, but I'm sure I'll get there eventually. So for me, yeah, it's more about the adventure. And then some of these I do track and work towards, but other ones it's like this was just a really fun adventure to complete or build up that stat. I know some people are even working towards, lowering their star ratings. They train in difficulty 1.1s and they want them to be, higher ratings. So but that makes you have to miss some fun caches potentially. So Tom, you've been waiting patiently with your hand up.
Yeah, okay. I have put out caches with a 4.5 rating, both terrain and difficulty. And but the farthest apart caches that I did on the same day was I did one in Austin, Minnesota, early in the morning, and I did Mingo in the western end of Kansas the same day. I shone my headlights down at Mingo and went down and signed it at about 11 o'clock at night.
Oh my goodness. Well, it's awesome.
And on consecutive days, I found a cache within 50 feet of the Atlantic Ocean, and the next day found a cache within 50 feet of the Pacific Ocean.
There you go. Yeah, that's a good
That was a
cross-country
fun
trip. Well, that's awesome. So any other thoughts on statistics? I think I got most of my questions answered that I had lined up for people. What do we check most often? Milestones for chasing. Difficulty, terrain grids, Jasmers, counties, souvenirs, or streaks. Ooh, I keep thinking I do need to look at my counties. Um, we've talked about tools, Project GC, challenge checkers, GSAK. Spreadsheets, people use spreadsheets. I haven't in a long time. I used to. I haven't anymore.
Not probably since I started phone
Phone
mode, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Krista, go ahead, Krista.
Hi, just curious, not anything to do with the busy grid or anything like that, but I'm just wondering, are there gonna be any more treasures coming out anytime soon?
Yeah, the
Mhm.
logbook talked about that this week.
Yeah.
I didn't read it in depth, but I think there's a new set coming out very soon.
Yeah, I believe so too. I remember seeing something about that
I think they're coming out in
Okay,
July.
in July. Okay.
Yeah, there's
so
supposed to be
I'm,
a couple new sets coming out, and they're about to retire a couple. But they also said, based on feedback, they're going to start releasing new treasures at a slower pace.
okay. See, I'm working on one and I was on my way to getting one to complete another treasure, but there was an emergency and I was needed, so um this lady was walking along the sidewalk and took a spill.
Oh no.
So yeah, I left everything in my car and just took off um to help her out. So
Well, that's a
Uh,
good
uh,
Samaritan for sure. Yeah. So I mean, life needs to come first, right? It's safety
exactly.
ahead of
The
ahead of our
caching
goals on
caching
caching.
will always be there.
Oh,
Helping someone is more important.
absolutely, for sure.
So thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm glad we got you. And I so I've had a couple connectivity issues, but that seems to be going around everywhere tonight. Yeah. Well, we are over
I'm
time
putting
by quite a bit.
I'm actually putting it in my phone because I was always a week late, thinking like last week was, oh, it's Mappy Hour.
no,
No, it's
Oh,
not.
dang it.
yeah, we switched our cadence a couple months back, so it did switch over. So it's every 2 weeks. Somebody mentioned, are we going to be doing it? So it'll be July 3rd, but I believe we will. That's our plan. To go ahead and do Mappy Hour. So if you've got other activities going on, go for it. We understand, but if you'd like, a little cash and goodness, come join us for sure. And Chris is asking about topic for next week, challenges. We could do that. We could talk about challenges again. Um, and oh, thank you for that, Lori Bird. Oh, it runs. Oh, okay, cool. I will look that up
Yeah.
for my podcast. I need to get back to it. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, but we got all of our subscriptions all shipped out. So folks will have all of their cash crates, their cash track clubs, hero crates went out. They went out early, so they should have them before the solstice and well before the solstice. And Cashkins Club, and we've got more things lining up for the next couple of months.
I like how she says we, like I had anything to do with
Oh, I'm not talking about
it.
him. I'm we my business. Yeah. Yes. Takes a village, right? Well, thanks everybody for joining us tonight. Did I have any more? I know Scott was asking about what other questions I had, and I think we all. Oh, there was one more. It was about whatever we intentionally ignore stats, but I think we talked about that too. A lot of us are just out caching, having fun, and if it happens to come up, great, it does. And the nice thing is with the checkers now, did we really qualify? Yeah, we don't have to actually track it ourselves, so that definitely helped us in Kansas City when we were down there.
Oh,
Yeah. So tonight's Mappy Hour is sponsored by our Cashkins. We still have our, I believe it's buy 4 and you get your 5th one free. So if you want to stock up on your Cashkins, and I'm going to be having some t-shirt bundles coming up soon. We've got this one.
Oh.
Yeah, which is challenge, cash, repeat. And there's a couple fun things that go with this one. We've got some fun little swag bags as well. And so I'll be coming out with those soon, bundling them together. And this is the May t-shirt. It's not available for retail sales yet, but it will be very soon. And same with the June one. We just shipped it. So I'm waiting for all of our members to receive it. And I offered it to our Cash Crate members that don't get the combo crate, and had a lot of folks buy it. The June shirt. It's a really cool shirt. It came out really nice. So we'll be releasing that to the public. I can't release it now because they're in the mail, and I don't want to spoil it for folks that do get it. So those will be coming out next week. So stay tuned if you need to up your geocaching wardrobe while you're out there chasing your challenges and having some good time out caching.
So Enrique says, thanks for the hero crate.
Excellent. Good. I'm glad you got it. Yeah, that was a fun one to put together for sure. So I'm glad that you enjoyed it. Yeah, it's always fun. So the next hero crates go out quarterly. Our cash crates go out every month, and along with all of our other subscriptions. So thank you, Enrique, for being a hero. Appreciate it. Well, thanks everybody. I think that covers it. We didn't even have time to do a pet check, but our pet, I heard him snoring upstairs, Mr. Hilo. He's not doing so well. He's aging quickly right now, but he's hanging in. There's a pet. Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Well, we will see you all in 2 weeks. Same cash time, same cash channel.